Olivia from Girlybunches, and in this week's video I'm going to be showing you how to do this waffle stitch. It's very popular and I think I can see why, because it gives this gorgeous texture that looks like waffles. So unfortunately you can't eat this one, but a nice diet version of a waffle. Okay, so this would be considered the front side and this would be considered the wrong side. I happen to like this side as well, but this is where it really gives it a nice feel. So you could make this into a blanket quite easily because it has this nice sort of firmness to it, so that would also be versatile for any kind of gadget case that you would like to make. That would be really good because it has a lot of nice thick feel to it. These raised parts are done by doing front post stitches, so don't panic if you've never done them before, because I will show you in the video, but I do have in-depth videos that I shall link up here with that little eye and in the description box down below, but I will explain how to do it. It's very simple. So if you like these kind of videos where I show these sort of textured stitches, which I personally love, then why not subscribe, because I do them quite often. I've got a subscribe button down here which you can press, and if you did that I would absolutely love you forever. So yep, I'm going to get on and show you how to do this, and this is worked in threes, so the pattern is worked in a 3-stitch sort of rotation, so there's 1, 2, 3 and then it repeats, so very simple. And so you do one repeat going this way, and then when you work the back the other way you do a slightly different repeat, but it's still in 3. So you know, a good one for just sort of hacking away at while you're watching the telly, I think. So this pattern is worked in threes, as I mentioned, so I've done a base chain here with a multiple of 3 plus 2, and you'll need the plus 2 to do the edges, which are just straight stitches, not worked in the pattern. So I've got 17 chains already made, so that's 15 being the multiple of 3 plus 2 gives me 17. Basic maths, which I do struggle with, so you know, I won't mind if you get the calculator out. Okay, so once you've got your multiple of 3 plus 2, what we're going to do is into the 4th chain from the hook, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, into this one here, we're going to do a treble. So the treble you may know as a double crochet if you use American and Canadian terms, but because I'm British I use British terms and I call that a treble. If you didn't know there's differences to names, I shall put a link to a video up here and in the description box down below explaining the differences, because I didn't know there was a difference for a long time and my patterns came out very strange. Okay, so once you've done that you just then need to now do a treble all the way across into each one of those chains. So I shall just speed this up a bit so it isn't as boring. But basically that's your first row, very simple row of trebles, and I'm nearly there. There we go, there's my last treble into that last chain on that first row. Okay, so that's that done. On to the second row. Chain 3, which will be a replacement of a treble, and turn the work around. And this is where we're going to start working this raised up stitch here. So as you can see, it's on that edge there. So to do this, if you've never done it before, very simple. So we're going to be working a treble, so put the yarn over the hook like you would normally do to start off that stitch, and then instead of working into the top of the stitch from the previous round like we did there, like we would do there, what we're going to do is going to put the hook down between those 2 stitches there, poke it out the back, and then poke it back through the front and put it around the behind, so it goes around the back of that stitch and it pushes that stitch forward. So that's why it's a front post stitch. I'll just show you the back there, you can see where the hook has gone, and then you just finish off your stitch like normal. So grab the yarn and then grab the yarn again over through the first 2 loops, grab the yarn the next 2 loops, and that is how you do it. Very simple, just around that single post there, so that treble becomes known as a post. Right, the next 2 stitches are simple, just doing a treble as normal through the top like you would normally do into the next 2 stitches. Okay, like that. So now, like I said, it's a repeat of 3, so we're going to do this again and these 2 again into the next 3 stitches. So start off your treble like you normally would. Instead of going into the top of the stitch, put it down, round and through the front, and work that stitch around that post like so, and then your trebles into the next 2 stitches as normal. Very simple, very easy, and gives a lovely effect. Sorry if you can hear the kids from downstairs shouting. They sound like they've just woken up and they're having a right old laugh down there. Okay, so there we go. First two sort of raised up stitches done, and you can start to see it making a difference. There we go, you can see it there. So just repeat that now until the end, and I shall speed this up. So you can see what I'm doing. Right, I'll just stop there. So I've got the last two stitches to work. So I'm just going to do a raised up front post stitch on the edge there. So it's going to be mirroring this side. So I've got so it will, you know, finish the same way it started. So I've got the raised up bit, and then I'm just going to do a treble into the third chain from that first round, like that, to finish off the row. I hope you can see that properly. There we go, you can see that nicely there. You can see those sort of wells starting to develop. Okay, so now on to the third round. So we're going to chain 3, turn round. Now we're going to work in the opposite way, as in this first one, this first stitch here, if we turn it around, is a front post stitch. So when you come up to a front post stitch, we're just going to work a normal treble. When we come across 2 normal stitches, we're going to work front post stitches, like that. So the next 2 will be front post stitches. And what that does, if I just take the hook out, it pulls those stitches back, as it were, so it pulls them up and back. So what you create this deeper well on the back when you look at on the front side. If I show you on here, so the well is deeper, creating that waffle finish. So it's pulling those stitches forward, and from the opposite side it looks like they're being pulled backward. Okay, so carry on with that. So again, when you come across a stitch that was worked as a front post stitch from the previous round, this one here, we're going to work that as a normal treble. So you put that into the top of the stitch, and then these 2 next stitches that were worked as normal, we're going to work as front post stitch. So down around the back and a normal treble otherwise, and then you just work the normal treble but around the post of the stitch. Normal into the top of that next stitch, and then 2 front post stitches. You could work this in a double treble. There's nothing to stop you from doing that. That would make the work go quicker, but yeah, you would just do all the stitches as a double treble as opposed to a normal treble. So around the front post stitches there. Get some yarn. And the last 2 stitches we're just going to work as normal trebles. So go in like to the top of the stitch, and this one will just be worked into the third chain. So that's the top of that sort of replacement stitch. Okay. So I'm just going to finish there because you get the idea now. You just repeat the second and third rows all the way through the project. If I just fasten this off, if I turn it round, you can see that when you do finish off your project, you do need to finish on a row going with the main detail on, so the repeat of the second row, because as you can see there, you've only got like half a square there, and because we started off with the trebles, it doesn't look right. If I show you this one, you can see I've finished on a row that is a repeat of the second row, and it gives off that better look, as you can see there. Unless that's what you're going for, you know, that's entirely up to you, but I would say finish on a row that is a repeat of the second row. Okay, so that is my tutorial on how to do this waffle stitch. I hope you enjoyed it. I would love it if you gave me a thumbs up. I do a video once a week, so you know I do lots of different things, and if you have any queries or questions, please do put them in the question box down below. I will reply to them eventually. I might not get time to reply to you straight away, but I do reply, and you know, I like to think about my answers sometimes, because you know, you do ask me good questions, which I love. So you know, it's always inspiration for videos. If you have a request for a video, please put that down in the comments box below as well. I greatly receive all comments and requests for videos, so I like to help where I can. So I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I shall see you in my next video. So take care, bye bye. Hi everyone, it's Olivia from Girlybunches, and in this week's video I'm going to be making this lovely little scrubby. So this scrubby could be used for washing up, washing dishes.